Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdy Soccer channel. It is match day 9 this weekend. Some fairly decent games last weekend, and not very happy with my Atlanta United. But we're moving on, match day 9. Before we jump in, like I always say, we have to check out the Nerdy Soccer table. We actually have a sole number one person right now, and that is Nick Fortune with 13 points. Coming in at number 2, we have Jerry G with 12. Wayne's World and Samuel 22 tied there for third with 11. And then Save Crystal Gaming and Let's Go Crew tied for fifth with 10 points. If you want to get involved in the Nerdy Soccer table, it's always a great time. The QR code is on the screen. Link is in the description. There's 3 matches for you to predict there in the Google Forms, and then it comes over and we see if you can climb the leaderboard. You can climb the leaderboard. The number 1 person gets an MLS jersey of their choosing at the end of the season. You could still, I think there's still time. If you are a good predictor. Jump in there. Also, if you want to see the full table, if your name isn't there in the top 5, the link is also in the description. Go in, check out the whole leaderboard, and see where you stand. Enough of that. Let's get in the match day 9 predictions and preview. To start us off here in match day 9, we have Austin FC versus LA Galaxy. Currently, Austin, 2 wins, a draw, and a loss there at home, where the Galaxy have not won on the road with 2 draws and 2 losses. Both teams in their last 5, Austin, 3 wins, 2 draws, and a loss, where the Galaxy are 3 draws and 2 losses in their last 5 matches. Austin are coming off of a terrible loss to Vancouver Whitecaps, losing that match 5-1, where the Galaxy drew with Houston there at home 1-1. The win probability is heavily in favor with Austin, even though they are coming off of that 5-1 loss last weekend. At home, they're not looking too bad. The Galaxy still not where I think they should be. I think they'll get better as time goes on. It's going to take a little bit of time. But in this one, the expected goals is 1-0 for Austin FC. I don't think that I can go with that, but I do think that Austin get the clean sheet, but I think they scored 2 goals, and I think this match ends in a 2-0 victory for Austin there at Q2 Stadium. So moving on to the next game, that is Columbus Crew versus Inter Miami. This is the match we will be watching for the watch along. Both teams currently unbeaten in MLS. That is fantastic to see. This is going to be a good one. It is being played in Cleveland, not Columbus this weekend. The Crew at home, though, 2 wins, 2 draws, no losses. Inter Miami, 2 wins, a draw there on the road. I think this one's going to be a phenomenal match. I can't wait for it. Columbus, though, are coming off of a road victory there against St. Louis. Currently, 3 wins and 2 draws in their last 5. And the same thing for Inter Miami, 3 wins and 2 draws in their last 5. But they are currently on a 2-match drawing streak, drawing with Chicago Fire 0-0 on the road, and then drawing with Toronto at home 1-1. So they're a little slacking right now. But 2 unbeaten teams, this is going to be a big game, and the win probability is very even here. 34% win probability for the Crew, 34% for Miami, and then a 31% chance of a draw. Now, expected goals is 0-0. I don't think that. I think that we are going to see more than that, but I do think that we get a draw in this one. Both teams stay unbeaten, and this one ends in a 2-2 draw there in Cleveland. So that leads us into Seattle Sounders versus Nashville SC. Seattle in their last 5 matches, 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 losses, where Nashville are 3 wins and 2 losses in their last 5. Seattle are coming off of a victory on the road against FC Dallas, where Nashville are coming off of a victory 2-1 over Real Salt Lake there at Geodis Park. The expected goals in this one is for Nashville to win 1-0 over Seattle. And the win probability, again, heavily in favor of Nashville at 54%, with a 25% in a draw. Only 20% for Seattle Sounders. I think this is going to be a good one. I think that it's going to be close. I think it's going to be closer than, 1-0 is close. I think it's going to be a very even match. Nashville not so good on the road. Seattle are struggling this season, again, with all of the injuries that they have. It's no wonder why they are struggling the way they are. But I think in this one, they do get a point there at home. I think Nashville gets a point on the road. Yes, they have to travel out there to the West Coast, and I think that is the factor. I think if it wasn't such a long travel, they would win this match, but I think this match ends in a 1-1 draw there at Lumen Field. Next up, we have CF Montreal versus Orlando City. Currently, CF Montreal at home. They have only played one match, and they have lost it. Where Orlando City, 1 win, 2 draws, and a loss there on the road. In their last 5 matches, Montreal, 2 draws and 3 losses, where Orlando City, 2 wins and 3 draws, coming off of a draw 0-0 to the Red Bulls. And it's actually the second match in a row that they got a 0-0 draw. So they went from scoring a lot to scoring nothing. CF Montreal are coming off of a loss, their first loss at home, their first game at home against Charlotte, 1-0. The expected goal is Orlando to win this match 2-0. And the win probability way in favor of Orlando at 77%. And I have to go with that. I think that Orlando City win this match on the road. CF Montreal just still have not shown me anything to pick them. They are letting up a goal. Orlando are also letting up 1.5 goals there on the road. So I think that Montreal score a goal, but I think Orlando City go on the road, get the 3 points, win this match 2-1 over Montreal. Now that leads us into the New York Red Bulls versus DC United. Currently the Red Bulls 3 wins and a draw there at home. DC United have not won on the road with a draw and 2 losses. In their last 5 for the Red Bulls, 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. DC United, 1 draw and 4 losses, currently on a 4-match losing streak. That is not what I wanted to see from DC United. The Red Bulls coming off of a 0-0 draw against Orlando City on the road, but before that they won against the Chicago Fire 2-1 there at home. DC United coming off of a 1-0 loss there at home to Cincinnati. Not looking good for DC, not much that I can say about them. Again, if you shut down Benteke, you win against DC. Currently, he has 5 goals on the season. The expected goals in this one is the Red Bulls to win 1-0 with the win probability 65% in favor of the Red Bulls. I don't think that happens. DC United are allowing 4 goals a match there on the road, where Red Bulls are averaging about 2. So I have to go in between that. I think that Red Bulls win this match 3-1 over DC United there at Sports Illustrated Stadium. Staying there on the East Coast, we have Charlotte versus San Diego. Currently, Charlotte at home, 4 wins, no draws, no losses. Charlotte are looking very good there at home, and that's what is expected, in my opinion, for the MLS. You have to be good at home because you have the complete crowd behind you. San Diego, 2 wins and 2 losses there on the road so far in their inaugural season. Charlotte currently 4 wins and a loss in their last 5. San Diego, 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5 matches. The expected goals in this one is a 1-1 draw there in Charlotte, with a win probability of 40% in favor of Charlotte and a 34% chance there for San Diego. I can't go with that. I cannot go with the expected goals in this one. I have to lean in favor of Charlotte. Charlotte has shown us in 4 games that they win at home, and I have to stick with that. I think Charlotte get the job done there and win this match 2-1 over San Diego there at Bank of America Stadium. Now, moving up north a little bit, we have the New England Revs versus NYCFC. Currently, the Revs are 1 win and 2 losses there at home. NYCFC have not won on the road, even though they've looked pretty decent so far this season. 2 draws and 2 losses there on the road. The last 5 matches for the Revs, 2 wins and 3 losses, where NYCFC 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses in their last 5 matches. The expected goals in this one are in favor of NYCFC to win 1-0 over the Revs, which would not surprise me in this one if that would happen. The win probability in favor of NYCFC at 46%. New England, though, are coming off of a pretty big victory there on the road against Atlanta United, winning that match 1-0, where NYCFC won there at home against the Philadelphia Union. I want to say that NYCFC go on the road and win this, but I'm not going to. I think NYCFC go on the road and get a point, though. I think this match ends in a 1-1 draw there at Gillette Stadium. Now we head over to Philadelphia for the Union versus Atlanta United. Currently, Philadelphia at home, 2 wins, a draw, and a loss, where Atlanta United have not won on the road with a draw and a loss so far this season. The last 5 matches for the Union, a win, a draw, and 3 losses, where Atlanta, a win, 2 draws, 2 losses in their last 5 matches. The expected goals in this one are in favor of the Union to win 2-1 over Atlanta United, which I 100% see this happening. Atlanta have so much that they need to prove to me before I start picking them again. I am very let down with their performance so far this season. Philadelphia are coming off of a loss on the road to NYCFC. Atlanta coming off of a loss there at home. The win probability in favor of the Philadelphia Union, and I have to go with that 57%. And I think Philadelphia Union win this match 2-1 over Atlanta United. Next up, we have the Portland Timbers versus LAFC. Currently, the Timbers at home, 2 wins, a draw, and a loss, where LAFC have 1 win and 3 losses there on the road. In the Timbers' last 5, they're 3 wins and 2 draws, where LAFC are 2 wins and 3 losses. They are currently coming off of a victory there at home versus the Earthquakes, 2-1. Portland won on the road against Sporting Kansas City, 4-2, which was not what I expected to happen in that match, but it was a fun one to watch. The expected goals in this one, though, is saying that it's going to end in a 1-1 draw there in Portland, but the win probability is in favor of the Timbers at 50%. But I have to go with the 24% chance of a draw. I do think, and I do agree with the expected goals here, I think this match ends in a 1-1 draw there in Portland. Moving on, we have Minnesota United versus FC Dallas. Currently, Minnesota at home, 2 wins and a draw. They have not lost there at home, where Dallas are 2 wins and 2 draws with no losses there on the road. It is crazy to me to think that they are winning games on the road, but not really winning games at home. It just makes no sense to me, but whatever. Anyway, Minnesota United coming off of a draw with Toronto FC 0-0 on the road. FC Dallas coming off of a loss there at home against the Seattle Sounders 1-0. The expected goals in this one is Minnesota to win this match 1-0 over FC Dallas with a win probability of 52% in favor of Minnesota. I want to go with that, and I think I am. I think that Minnesota are going to win this one at home. It wouldn't surprise me, though. I will say it won't surprise me if this match ends in a 1-1 draw or a 1-0 victory for Dallas. I don't think that we see more than 1 or 2 goals in this match, but I'm going to stick with it. I think the home team wins this, and I think Minnesota wins 1-0 over FC Dallas. Now, heading out to the West Coast, we have San Jose Earthquakes versus Sporting Kansas City. Currently, the Earthquakes there at home, 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses, where Sporting Kansas City have not won or drawn on the road yet, losing all 3 matches they have played. The Earthquakes in their last 5, 1 win, a draw, and 3 losses, where Sporting Kansas City, 1 win, a draw, and 3 losses. So both teams in about the same kind of form. San Jose coming off of a loss to LAFC there on the road, where Sporting Kansas City are coming off of a loss there at home, 4-2 to the Portland Timbers. The expected goals in this one is San Jose to win this match 3-1. The win probability 70% in favor of the Earthquakes to win this one. And I have to go with it, and I'm actually going to go with the expected goals on this one, like in, what was it, the last one or the one before that. I think that San Jose win this match 3-1 over Sporting Kansas City, and I think Joseph Martinez gets another goal in this one. Coming down the stretch here, we have Real Salt Lake versus Toronto FC. Real Salt Lake at home, 2 wins and 2 losses, where Toronto FC have not won on the road yet, with 2 draws and 3 losses. This one is going to be a lot closer than I think a lot of people think. Toronto are trying to turn over that leaf in their last 5. 3 draws and 2 losses, currently on a 3-match draw streak, where Real Salt Lake in their last 5, 2 wins and 3 losses, coming off of a loss there on the road to Nashville, 2-1, where Toronto coming off of a 0-0 draw there against Minnesota, but they were at home. The expected goals in this one, both teams to score, and it's supposed to be a 1-1 draw, but the win probability is pointing to Real Salt Lake at 40%, but a very close 32% in favor of Toronto FC. I would love to see Toronto finally get a victory, but it's not going to happen here. I think Real Salt Lake are pretty good at home. Yes, 2 losses, 2 wins. They're averaging about 1.2 goals a match there at home, but I think they get the job done and they win this match 2-1 over Toronto FC. So heading back east, we have Chicago Fire versus FC Cincinnati, and it was just more east than Real Salt Lake. I know that Chicago is not on the East Coast, so don't come at me. Currently, Chicago at home, 3 draws. That's it. FC Cincinnati on the road, 2 wins and 2 losses. The last 5 matches for Chicago Fires, 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss, where Cincinnati, 3 wins, a draw, and a loss, currently on a 3-match winning streak. Chicago are coming off of a draw against Inter Miami there at Soldier Field, 0-0. FC Cincinnati did go on the road and win 1-0 over DC United. The expected goals in this one are 1-1 there in Chicago for a draw, and 39% win probability in favor of the Fire, but a 36% in chance in favor of FC Cincinnati. I think that we're going to see more than a 1-1 draw. I think that we're going to see more than 1 goal, because Cincinnati are almost allowing 2 goals. Chicago's allowing a goal, where both teams are averaging a goal. So I got a feeling that we're going to see a little bit more than a 1-1 draw, but I do think that Cincinnati go on the road here and get a draw. Chicago get another draw at home, and this match ends in a 2-2 draw there at Soldier Field. Now, for our second to last match, we have St. Louis City versus Vancouver Whitecaps. Currently, it's St. Louis City, 1 win, a draw, and 2 losses there at home. Vancouver Whitecaps have not lost yet on the road, with 2 wins and 1 draw. The expected goals in this one is in favor of Vancouver to win this match 1-0 over St. Louis City. St. Louis in their last 5 matches, 1 win and 4 losses, currently on a 4-match losing streak. Not what I expected for St. Louis this season with how good they started the season playing defense. I think people have found out how to break down their defense. Vancouver, though, 3 wins, a draw, and a loss in their last 5 matches. The win probability in favor of Vancouver at 59%. And unfortunately, St. Louis fans, until you guys can start scoring goals, and I think I said this in the last video, I cannot pick St. Louis to win. So I have to say Vancouver, even though they're coming off of a 5-1 victory against Austin, I think they only get 1 goal here, and they win this match 1-0 over St. Louis City. And for our final match this weekend, we have Houston Dynamo versus Colorado Rapids. Currently, Houston 1 win and 3 losses there at home. Colorado Rapids 2 wins, a draw, and a loss there on the road. Houston, though, in their last 5, 1 win, 2 draws, 2 losses. Colorado 3 wins and 2 losses in their last 5. And their last 5 are win-loss, win-loss, win. So very inconsistent, if you ask me. The expected goals here is in favor of Colorado to go on the road here and win this match 1-0 over Houston. And the win probability in favor of Colorado at 56%. I definitely have to go with that, even though I think Houston have only won 1 match there at home. I think that they're kind of getting traction, but at the same time, not really. It's just so hard to go with Houston here because of how bad they're looking right now. And I have to go with Colorado to win this match, and I think they win 2-1 over the Dynamo. So that is it for Matchday 9 predictions. Tell me down below what your predictions are. Make sure that you give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you like the content. Also, join in the Nerdy Soccer table. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of banter in the Discord, so make sure that you jump into the Discord also. And we will see you for the Columbus Crew versus Inter Miami watch-along.